Hello and what is going on, guys? Today we are going to talk about the British again. Yes, the British are back. The British are back and they are ready to gun down the entire place with their massive cannons. Nope, just kidding. But let's talk about some serious British news here. Britain may actually be the future of socialism. We are seeing some massive strikes right now in the UK. We are seeing some excellent pro-worker rhetoric being used by especially Mick Lynch, leader of the RMT union, democratically elected, mind you, unlike the Prime Minister. And the Tories are basically going to lose the next election. It looks really, really grim for them. This does not mean that things are going to be good. The Labour Party has done some very bad things we're going to talk about later in the video. But it does mean the pro-worker movement in Britain is rising, a pro-worker movement that has reached across all boundaries, that has united all kinds of people. Britain has finally done it. They've united people, unlike any other, well, Western society. They have united people to take up their right to strike. They have united people to take up the fight against billionaires, and they're doing an absolutely excellent job of it. But today, whilst we're mostly going to be talking about good news, of course, the reason this entire thing is happening is because Britain is doing so bad right now. But still, there's hope. There's hope behind the wall, and you guys just need to break down that wall, and you will find all the hope ever. However, it's very difficult. I get it. No major political party supports a hard left position. After Jeremy Corbyn was ousted out of the Labour Party, well, really, there is no real pro-worker class movement. The Labour Party is kind of trying to pander to working class rhetoric, but at the same time, they've become very, very detached from the working class and then their problems after Keir Starmer took power. Anyway, so let's talk about Double Down News. Probably one of the best news websites or news YouTube channels, I guess, ever. Let's talk about their intro. Let's talk a little bit about it and why it's so good.
Unless we create our own progressive media, we have no chance of fighting against the rabid propaganda of an establishment that is absolutely efficient when it comes to brainwashing people.
You're not going to be able to create a new political reality without having a dramatically changed media ecology. And Double Down News is part of that.
Double Down News is about empowering you and amplifying your voice.
So yeah, Double Down News, progressive media, pro-worker media. We needed some of this. If you look at the UK newspaper, the Daily Mail and Telegraph, it's all owned by the billionaires. The Sun, even worse. It's all anti-worker. Even BBC has betrayed us. So at this point, just forget about mainstream media in the UK. It's all biased. It's all anti-worker. There's no pro-worker sentiment whatsoever in the UK media. Except for this media. This does count as a media. It's not mainstream, but it is a media. Double Down News is amazing.
It's about holding the powerful to account and punching up, never down or sideways.
Nobody is going to do this for us.
If you don't pay for the media you want, then you'll be sold the media that someone else wants you to see.
This is such an important project. The guys behind it are pretty cool. Big fan of them.
They're doing everything. Filming, producing, editing, writing, doing all the website stuff, getting all the technical stuff done. There's a lot of work in it.
On a tiny budget, Double Down has been achieved.
Absolutely, they've done an excellent job. Their news coverages are amazing. There are many charismatic British people who talk in the Double Down News, well, interviews, I would guess. I'd say the Double Down videos. You should watch them all, okay? You'll be a lot more educated on British news and on worker politics all over the world after you see some of the videos from Double Down News.
Achieving extraordinary things, reaching millions of viewers.
Breaking the media narrative that creates the fearful environment in which conflict flourishes.
They are not influenced by any corporate forces.
They don't take any adverts, they don't have any outside money.
My God, we do need an alternative news.
Please support their work. We need their voice. We need to have our voices, and you know a lot of people don't want our voices.
Over the next 5 years, we're going to need alternative voices more than ever before.
They face massive barriers in doing this stuff.
So, my message to our viewers is,
I'd like to ask you to support the future of journalism. Support Double Down on Patreon.
Support this vital stage.
A lot of things on Patreon. If you guys got money to spare, it's a great place to send your money, okay? It's a great place to send your money, but I understand under these socioeconomic conditions that were caused by capitalism, many of us don't have a lot of money. It's totally understandable that you don't have money to spare. I get it. Many senses, well, it feels like neither do I, you know, and that's just the world we live in. I mean, obviously, I don't have my own major source of income, but either way, under these socioeconomic conditions, it's unlikely that the working class would have spare money. But if you do, or if you're maybe one of the only rich billionaires who actually, well, hates their own pocket and wants to spend money on good things, then I guess go for it, but yeah. Anyways, if you guys got money, send it to Double Down News. Massive. But let's take a look at Mick Lynch, who takes aim at Keir Starmer.
It gives me great pleasure to announce.
By the way, this video was released like an hour ago, and I think this is very recent news.
The General Secretary of the RMT, the Centre of International Evil to Some. Here he is, Mick Lynch, give it up for me!
This guy is the greatest political figure. In my opinion, he's not even political. He's just a union. He's just a union leader, democratically elected union leader. But he is single-handedly the greatest politician. He's not even, but you know what I mean. Political figure in our lifetime, in my humble opinion. This guy is brilliant. He's beyond good. He is unheard of in how good he is. Let's take a look at what Mick Lynch has to say.
Hello over here. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Thanks for coming out on this cold January, and thanks to everyone that's turned up. And thanks for the support you've given to the RMT and all the other workers that have been on strike in 22 and now into 23. There are some people missing here tonight. You get this every time you hear me. We've got Jeremy, he's with us. We've got other MPs, we've got SNP MPs, Caroline Lucas from the Green Party sends her solidarity. But there's a big question. Where's the Labour front bench tonight? When are they going to...
Like I said, where's Labour?
Stand up with the rest of the Labour movement and join with us and say we are with you. We are going to defeat this law. We're going to defeat this government. We're going to drive them out of power. We're going to support you in your disputes, and we're going to guarantee that you win those disputes. And when we win that election, we're going to repeal all these anti-trade union laws, and we're going to build a new Bill of Workers' Rights right across the economy and right across our society, because that's what we demand from people that seek to represent us. If you seek to represent the working class, well, you better show some empathy for working people now in these...
Absolutely. Keir Starmer, he's not doing what he should be doing. He's just saying, well, I'm just a meddler. It's quite black and white, to be honest. Either you don't support workers and you hate, and basically you try to uphold the capitalist system, or you actively at least try to support workers. Maybe you don't, I mean, Social Democrats would support workers, right? Labour supposedly a social democratic party. Keir Starmer supposedly a social democrat. Where is he when the unions strike? A real social democrat, a real one, should always side with the workers over the people with the money.
Struggles on the housing estates, in our cities, in our villages, in our counties. Working people are dying out for change. Everywhere I go, people are saying, let's change the economy, let's change this society. And I say to Keir Starmer, come and stand with us. Don't triangulate. Don't try and be a vanilla politician in a manila suit. Stand up for socialism, stand up for workers, and let's change this country going forward.
So true. I mean, I don't have to add much. Mick Lynch is a complete rhetorical mastermind. I mean, whatever he says, well, he says it in the perfect tone. He knows it all. I don't have to comment much really.
Now, you've all had the problems. You all know about our dispute. At the centre of these disputes is one issue. It's the distribution of wealth in our society. And what we're calling for from any politician is to guarantee that you support redistribution, that you support social justice, that you support working people in their struggles today and in the future. And we need to make sure that we rebalance this society, that we rebalance the economy, that we rebalance justice. People are crying out for it, and we've got to make sure we change it. So the message tonight is, let's go into all of our communities. Let's go into every place where workers are waiting for change. Let's bring the trade union movement to those people. We will not be waiting for professional politicians. We will not be waiting for policy makers. The future now is in our hands. The future is in the working class. And the working class is back now. And we're going to fight for our rights.
Absolutely, this is what I meant, dude. With the entire title, this is what I meant. The working class is back. We're back. And we're back. And we're gonna bring vengeance.
And fight for our future. And nobody's going to stop us. And we have got problems. We will have all these people, all these writers, even in The Guardian, the so-called liberal papers, they will be telling us that your demands are unreasonable, that you've got to temper what you ask for. If you wait for a government, it will happen. And they hate us. They hate working people. But if we are together, if we are united, if we build our movement for ourselves, we will be unstoppable in this country. And we're going to change this country forever and change it in our favour and redistribute that wealth, not from the bottom to the top, but from the top to the rest of the people in this society. So let's fight, let's commit ourselves. Make sure everyone in your workplace is in your union. Make sure that every workplace is organised. And make sure that your union becomes a fighting union on behalf of the people of this country so that we can change it. It's a cold evening. You've got to go home to your own families. Thanks for travelling out. Thanks for your commitment. Let's not let this dissipate. Let's fight, fight and fight again for our future. See you all soon. See you on the picket line and see you on the streets. Thank you very much.
That is how you hold a speech. Politicians needs to learn about how to hold a speech. Look at this shitty Guardian news. Ugh. Don't want to watch it. Anyways, let's watch this one. This is a very funny clip from... It's Mick Lynch. He's talking to it's a transport secretary. I mean, obviously the RMT union is having a dispute with the railway companies, and the government decided to intervene and not allow the railway companies to give the workers the rights that they rightfully deserved because the government hates the working class. Let's take a look.
Latest figures shows that public support is waning and that you don't any longer have the support of the public for these strikes. Is that concerning to you?
It depends which poll you read. I went on Good Morning Britain the other day where Richard Madeley was on attack mode. They did a poll shortly after that and said there was 75% support for the RMT. So it depends which poll you read of who's winning this. What was expected in the DFT is that we'd have zero support and we'd be back to work with no strikes by the end of June. Once your friends in the Daily Mail and the Telegraph and all these other journals followed me from my house to the station, invaded my children's Facebook pages and all the rest of it, that we would be public enemies number one. We're not. I'm a more popular person than many of the politicians in this room, unfortunately.
The latest.
Yeah, that's the funny part. Mick Lynch would probably be the most popular politician in the country. He probably would be, you know? And he would probably be the greatest politician in a long while. But let's remember that Britain has had some absolutely excellent prime ministers. Don't forget how Attlee, 1945, turned Britain from a country destroyed by war into a modern welfare state which had proper health care, proper workers' rights, proper housing for its people. Attlee was the best prime minister in British history, and I'm standing by that till the end of my days. What a prime minister. And there are more Attlees in this age than in any other part of British history. Mick Lynch is just one of them. And with these people on our side, and with obviously the most important thing, is that not only do we have the best politicians, we have the best people supporting them. We have the working class, and the working class has decided it doesn't matter if you have a good leader if you don't have support, but the working class has given it support, and they are doing everything they can to beat back on the conservatives. Remember that, working class Brits, that you are the reason this will succeed. However good Mick Lynch is, you are the reason. You are the reason he will succeed. Let's finish off with Keir Starmer's disgusting Labour files. I mean, I listened to all these hours. Yeah, you see, it was like I think 4 hours maybe. The Labour files. Listened to all of it, and it really revealed how disgusting the Labour Party is. Infiltrated by racists, infiltrated by anti-leftists, and they have tried to ruin the Labour Party for forever. They have tried to make Labour into another liberal party that wouldn't support workers, and it's so horrible. They framed Jeremy Corbyn in a terrible way, framing him to be an anti-Semite, causing him to lose the election, and blaming the election loss on him, while they were literally stabbing him in the back. They are traitors. They are really traitors to the working movement. Remember that. Even though I'd recommend you to vote for Labour, remember that the current Labour leadership is not socialist. The current Labour leadership is actually quite sympathetic to the elites. They are just trying they're trying to adopt, really they are trying, I'm not saying that they are yet, but they're trying to adopt the same policies as Joe Biden. And let's just say Joe Biden isn't very nice to strikers. He is not at all very nice to strikers. Anyways, I'm so happy that for you people who watched the entire video, and all I have to say is that remember that there is hope for Britain, there is hope for socialism in the world, and Britain is proving it. We will all, together, as one working class movement over the entire world, fight for our rights, because that is what we deserve. And in the end, every person deserves socialism, because that is the definition of freedom. Socialism is what gives freedom. Capitalism is what takes away freedom. Strem out.